Are you a rapper when it comes to Christmas and birthday presents?
Oh man, I'm like Flavor Flav when it comes to Christmas present wrapping. Big clock and everything hanging around my neck. Hey! Hello, and welcome to the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, the 23rd of December, 2020. And my name is Darren Baldock. Joining me at the other end of the interwebs, we've got the gorgeous Mr. Matthew Moore. As always, how are you, fella?
Very well. It's almost Christmas.
It is almost Christmas, so we're getting into the Christmas spirit. Obviously, Matt's hopefully still dry, but I will be. I might take down a small glass of wine during the course of this evening's proceedings. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick back, relax, and enjoy episode 299 of the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Oh, Matthew, we're almost there. It's going to be a milestone.
I know, man. 299's a big number.
It is, but there's bigger numbers out there.
I understand. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe how big the numbers get in certain quarters, but we shall see. Obviously, the next show is going to be an important one. But hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is equally as important because we are here. We're talking. It's not been too long since we last spoke, which is nice. No,
it's been pleasant, hasn't it?
So it might be a short one. Because we've got much to talk about.
There's some bits and bobs we can talk about, I'm sure.
No, there's plenty to cover off, mate. No, for sure. So, okay, let's get stuck into it. So we're so as of recording right now, we've been plunged into COVID chaos with tier 4 announcements. So we were just talking just before we started recording. So with me being down in the Milton Keynes love nest, the lockdown love nest, I was plunged straight into tier 4, which was a bit of a bummer actually, because it happened while I was out doing some shopping, and the missus said, because we decided ages ago, said we're not going to do turkey this year, we're going to do something different. I said, you know, what do you like? She said, well, I love your beef. I said, I know, but what would you like to eat? She said, no, I love your beef. I said, okay, I'll get a lovely piece of beef. So I did, because we were expecting family. Her father and her brother always come and visit at Christmas, so it's a nice family gathering. So I was out and I saw some really nice, like sort of 36-day aged, nice, big fuck off piece of beef. I thought, I'm having that. And I got back, found out we'd been plunged into tier 4. Christmas was cancelled, so it's just me and her on Christmas Day with 20 quid's worth of beef. Still going to eat it all, mate.
Oh, all the beef. Good effort.
All the beef. So at the time you were tier 2, but we've had a further update today, haven't we?
So yeah, still tier 2 until Boxing Day.
Yep.
It makes no difference to me though, mate. And I know that. Look, I'm not taking anything away from the threat. I'm not taking anything away from the good work people do and how concerned people generally do need to be in many instances. For me, I'm going to be selfish right now. It don't make a fat lot of difference. Being even more selfish, at least I'm keeping busy.
Yeah, absolutely. But in terms of how does it impact anything for your plans around Christmas, spend with family? I imagine there's a lot of listeners who have had to either cancel or restrict quite considerably, because even people outside of the at the tier 4 zone, they're going from that window of Christmas bubbling to restricted just to Christmas Day now. So, you know, people can come along, but they can't have a drink because they're going to have to go home afterwards. It's the right thing to do. You know, I have to look at the bigger picture. You know, let's have a not as good Christmas this year, so we can have more Christmases after this one.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I get that as a slogan. It makes perfect sense. I don't know if the only thing that confused me was just having different tiers So I don't know if are we all going to be moving to 4? And again, when I was talking about it not affecting me, what I mean also is that my habits don't change regardless of if we were in the original hardcore OG lockdown. I would still continue my day-to-day life unhindered.
Well, that's all. We're almost at that now, aren't we? So it's almost like a new game plus tier 4. That's the way I treat it. It's come on, let's do it all again, but this time I'm ready. I'm a bit better prepared. But there's still massive challenges out there, potentially bigger challenges than we've ever faced before, because there's other things going on at the end of the year, as we well know. We're exiting the EU, and as of recording right now, we still don't have a deal. So anyway, we don't do politics. I just want to make sure that my board games getting shipped from Europe don't end up costing an arm and a fucking leg, which is currently what I've had one company write to me. Not to me personally, it's kind of like on a mailing list, this French company, and they've basically said, right, as of next year, the UK is moving into category, that they've got some kind of matrix grid on their site on how much shipping charges are. So for a basic parcel, up until New Year's Eve, is about £6 or £7. That's going up to 60.
Oh my word!
Yeah. So, hey, guess who's not buying from them anymore? Probably me and every other board gamer in the UK who's ever wanted to support them. So anyway, it's down to them. There are still ways and means of distributing goods around the UK. But we will have to manage with whatever's thrown at us. That's what we do. We get on with it.
England prevails.
Well, yeah, depends. If you read the right history books, yes, England does prevail. So what you been up to, mate? Have you anything good going on in your personal life?
Some bits and bobs. Well, I'll tell you what, do you remember me telling you I had that virtual gig ticket to go and see Pop Will Eat Itself?
Oh, yeah, how was it?
I got in, you know what? It was surprisingly good on all levels, really. I mean, the band were great, it sounded great from where I was sat, and technically it actually worked pretty well. It delivered what it needed to. So I think I ended up watching it. Pretty sure it was a YouTube live stream. The multicam thing was all being controlled in the venue, I guess. So it was just one feed coming out. Yeah. But because they sort of opened the feed and the view of the stage half an hour beforehand, it was fun for people to sort of chit chat about this band who some of them have seen dozens of times, all the way back from '86 or something. Yeah. So for that first half hour, it was like you could feel the excitement, and then all of a sudden, I'm blanking. Singer from the Wonder Stuff.
Miles Hunt.
Miles Hunt pops his head into the chat, so he's got his ticket, so he's in the chat and he's watching as well. And you got people going like, someone said that Clint Mansell's been spotted in Islington. We think he's going to be coming in as like one of the original singers to do a few tracks and everything. He didn't, but like just everyone sort of sat there getting giddy about it. It was really good.
Oh, superb, mate! How long was the set?
Oh, it was a good hour and change. They did like a half an hour special of the one album, and then your bangers, and then a couple of new songs which were all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, seeing it. I mean, I guess that this is probably going to be my go-to way of seeing things from now on for the short term. And I guess it's also an opportunity to see stuff, although you're not there. It's still part of that. You're part of the experience somehow. So yeah, I do that again. I think it was about £10 and £12, less than 2 pints at the venue. Is how much it cost me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh no, good effort, mate.
Yeah, big fan. I can talk to you about some telly.
Oh, go on then.
I've watched the first season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. Can I get some thoughts?
I think it's really good. Really entertaining. They're not too long. No. And it's like a cowboy. He's a cowboy with his dog, his green dog.
Yeah. It is. It's a good traditional sort of Western style, maybe a bit Kurosawa in there. You're in for a good ride. And are you sciencing your way into season 2?
Oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
I think I've only done the first one. I was glad to see again. It was only only another 8 episodes, and I hear great things about it. I've avoided all spoilers. I mean, I avoided all the spoilers for the first one. I mean, everyone saw that Baby Yoda was a thing, and I kind of thought, I was like, oh, is that the big spoil now revealed for me? I'll forget about it. But no, that's like first episode stuff.
Okay. I mean, all I'll say is, don't mess around. Don't leave it too long, because there's some significant spoilers throughout season 2, and that's all I'm saying. But what I can tell you is, after watching the entirety of the season over the course of the weeks after they've been released, it just got better and better, week on week, and then the finale was just outstanding. Outstanding. Loved it.
Good. Another recommendation from you. We're halfway through The Queen's Gambit.
Oh, okay. Chessbird. As we like to call it in this house.
Good telly.
Yeah.
And I know some chess. I'm like, she's like, you play chess. I'm like, well, I know how it works, and I think I know most of the win conditions, but I don't know if I'm any good at it.
Yeah, you had a pirated copy of Battle Chess, didn't you? We all did. Battle Chess, best chess game. Tell me otherwise. My DMs are open.
And I don't think I wasn't watching anything. I did have one of those. I had one of them moments, and I've had a couple of these in my life, where you go like, man, I won't be doing that again. The last time I had one of them moments is when I lost my passport in Norway. Right, do you know what? Won't do that.
Yeah.
Will not do that again. No.
For
sure. This time I had lost my wedding ring.
Oh.
And I know, and I had just, as I noticed, I was in the car after visiting the Tip and the Dirty Sandwich Van.
Oh my God!
I know.
So what did you have to do? Retrace your steps.
Retrace my steps, and and blessed. I mean, the ladies at the sandwich van were great. They jumped out. They were helping me look, like kicking through the puddles and shit, and took my number. And I got home and I was gutted. I was like, well, I know I can. Okay, there's insurances there for a reason and all that sort of stuff, but like it's not the same one, and how frustrating, because I always know when it's not there, so it couldn't have not been there.
Yeah.
But then the next morning I'd had a text off the sandwich lady. She was like, "They found a ring. They found a ring." It was great. I got to head up there, and the guy was like, I was able to give him something. There's an inscription on the inside, so like brilliant. I can't. It's definitely mine.
Yeah.
And he handed it to him, and I was like, shit, am I now married to him?
He probably would have appreciated a little bung. Did you sort him out in any way?
So I didn't sort him out, but I did sort the ladies out of the van.
I mean,
they did they did the legwork, and they got a £40 tip for their troubles, because that would have cost me a lot in money and a headache. Worth every penny, bless them.
Sure, yeah. Oh, good result, mate. That's outstanding news.
I've got a new dog. I've got a dog here over Christmas and New Year.
A new dog? So is this a dog for life or just for Christmas?
Just for very much a dog for Christmas.
Is it another? Is it another lab?
Yes, another one. 20-month-old dude called Bonzo. He's great. He'll make someone a very happy dog. The house can fit 3 dogs, but I'm just not ready as a 3-dog family just yet.
No,
it's a proof of concept. It works, but hey.
Is it one of those where would 3 just be as easy to keep as 2? Do you kind of reach a threshold where if you add more, it doesn't really add any more, much more in the way of stress or hassle?
I don't know. I mean, straight away, like, I wouldn't be able to get 3 in the boot, for example.
No, you could just put one on the roof.
Woof whack.
Yeah, a woof whack. Yes, very good. No, we've been, and this isn't just a notion that's just cropped into our heads. We've been talking long over the summer months about getting a dog at some point. I think it largely, the main driver for us has been, or the main thing to stop us is, A, we really want to be here 24/7, or we need to have somebody here 24/7. Not a fan of leaving a dog on his own or her own. And secondly, rather selfishly, it kind of puts the kibosh on a lot of sort of overseas holidays, unless you can find a reliable dog sitter. That's something to consider. So, yeah, I'm kind of. I'd love to have a dog. I love dogs. I always enjoy their company, and cats are great. Well, one of them is, and the other one's a cock.
Do you still see that one that's famous in your local spotted Facebook group?
Oh, Ada. Yeah, Ada the Westcroft cat. Yes. Yeah, get all up in that. No, need a dog. Ideally, I'd like to go for a Cavalier King Charles. But they come with their own set of challenges. There's health issues inherent in that breed. So you got to be prepared for that. But no, I'd definitely would love to have a dog someday. But good for you, mate. You're still doing the Lord's work where it comes to the old fostering gig. Proud of you.
Thank you, sir. And I guess just to it's not something I bring up all the time, but yeah, still not had a drink.
You're a star. You're a fucking star.
Did fancy one. I think it was on Saturday. Like the in-laws were around. So we were sort of like doing the dropping off of all the gifts. And I thought, you know what? There was a few beers in the fridge, which doesn't seem to bother me. And I thought, do you know what? It was in the afternoon. I thought, cheeky beer right now. This sounds like I usually get a Saturday going in it. Yeah. And then I kind of just like bimbled past that and carried on with my day. And it came to about 6 o'clock at night. I was like, you know what? I'm really glad I didn't. Really glad I've just kept the day going as per.
Yeah, you're like you're at that stage where you're like a Ginger off Mitchell and Webb show, like Digby Chicken Caesar, and Ginger his sidekick, and he cleans himself up, doesn't he? And he gets a job and everything, and he's doing really well for himself. That's where you are right now. We just don't need Digby Chicken Caesar to walk in and get, because as soon as you take a sip out of that lovely lager beer, it'd be pandemonium, mate. Pandemonium. But no, super proud of you, mate. And, long may it continue. Shit, man, you've been saving so much money. You can upgrade your PC and do all kinds of things.
I've generally got my eye on an ultra-wide.
You have.
I'm thinking either ultra-wide or a desk that goes uppy-downy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can't you get one of those through work? To just go down the mobility route.
Could do.
I'll come and break your back for you, mate.
Oh, thanks, Bane.
I'm sure your missus will beat me to the punch if you if you lose your wedding ring again. So, hey, let me tell you, I got an early Christmas present, and it wasn't by design. It was it was shipped to the home address, and it was one of those where they just didn't bother putting it in a box. They just slapped a label on the side of it. So I knew I was getting it anyway, because I put it on, because we do Christmas lists. We do Amazon lists, because we just think, well, I'd sooner get each other something that we actually want, as opposed to just buying a load of shit. Yeah. So this bread machine turns up. Now I've had my own one of these for a long while, and I did a bit of baking during the lockdown in the summer, and it's kind of stuck with me ever since. I just thought, no, that'd be really nice to have. So I got the bread machine, and we had the conversation, me and the good lady. I said, look, I don't mind waiting until Christmas Day to get it. I said, I'm not expecting you to wrap it, but if you want me to hold on till Christmas Day, she says, you may as well start using it now.
Well, you need to get your practice in before you do your Christmas loaf, don't you?
Well, of course, and it's a win-win all round. We're getting the benefit, but I had an understanding of how these things work, but I had no concept of how fucking ace stuff tastes coming out of that machine, to the point where I can't believe, and we had this conversation, me and the good lady. We can't believe that we've spent all our lives just eating bread from shops, and how shit it is compared to proper home baked bread. Honestly, it's night and day. Obviously, there's a risk associated with that, because we're just going to eat a load more bread. So we're trying to manage things accordingly. But it does bread, it does cake. I've made a cake, and that was really fucking nice. I made a lovely bread today. I made another artisanal piece. It was an Italian 3 cheese loaf. It's got a bit of dolce latte in there, and a bit of parmesan, and a bit of mozzarella. Oh, it was lovely, and we had some soup tonight, and a bit of Dunkin'. All the good stuff. And just before we started recording, I was just finishing off a jam. Yes, it makes jam as well, but I can't speak to how that tastes because it's got to cool and set and do all the good stuff. But oh wow, I must say, it's great to be able to go into a supermarket and never ever have to look at a bread aisle again.
Is it easy to slice?
Oh mate, it's so easy. It really is. I mean, all I can really say is that, well, firstly there's the smell. If you ever smell bread baking, it is gorgeous. Honestly, you could put $5,000 on the value of your house if you got people doing a viewing while you're baking bread, because it's just one of those amazing smells. But it comes out, as soon as the bread maker's finished, you take it out, you put it on a cooling rack, and then within 10 minutes, we're cutting the knob end off, putting a bit of butter on it just to sample it, you know. And then that'll last a day or two. And then make another bread. I'm going to put it on a timer so I can say, right, so if I put something on tonight, I say, right, I want it to be ready for 7:30 in the morning. So we get up to a lovely smell of bread. It's fucking wicked style, mate. Love it.
How long does it take to get your standard loaf out?
If you're doing it on a standard cook with your own sort of strong white, strong flour, probably about 4.5 hours. But it's simple as you just throw all the ingredients in a certain order. So invariably, you'll start with the yeast, then you'll throw the strong bread flour in, then you'll throw in a bit of sugar, a bit of salt, an amount of water, pop the lid down, switch it on, fuck off for 4.5 hours. That's it. When you come back, it's done. Honestly, it's a game changer for me. Probably one of the best kitchen gadgets I've ever owned. And it's up there with the air fryer and the coffee machine. You know, I kicked up from an espresso to a bean to cup about 12 months ago. That was another strong move on my part. I basically live in the kitchen now. I do, honestly.
Well, I'll tell you what, that you're talking my language now. So, is it more cost effective, do you reckon, in the end, if you're making bread? Not just cost effective, but like sometimes I fucking throw bread away. I hate wasting food, but bread, sometimes you take your eye off it and like, oh my God, almost the whole loaf's gone.
Well, you've got control over the size of the loaf. So there's only, like yourself, it's a 2-person household. You just make the smallest loaf, which is a medium-sized loaf. And you have control over the thickness of the bread, what type of bread, and there's tons of recipes in the manual, and every one I've tried so far has been an outstanding success. You know, and it goes from your basic whites to your basic wholemeals, and it's to spelt loaves, gluten-free as well. If you're that way inclined, you can do a load of gluten-free bread, and then it does cakes and jams, and you can even make just doughs. So let's say you wanted to make croissants, obviously they're not going to get done in the bread machine, but you can make your dough in the machine and then finish it off by hand and do all your arranging, etc.
You do your pizza base in there, couldn't you, as well?
Yeah,
all manner of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, pizza bases, tear and share, anything. You know, I do it. There's a nice pizza. I'm going to try that one. A pizza tear and share recipe.
I recently knocked up a couple of new things to add to my repertoire.
Go on, talk to me.
Dauphinoise potatoes.
Oh, Dauphinoise. Oh, awesome. Dauphinoise potatoes, man. Oh.
I realised why it is they're so good. And I could tell that why it was they were so good as I was pouring all that cream into it.
Yeah, buddy. Too right.
It didn't go with this, but also a few weeks beforehand, made a couple of individual beef Wellingtons.
Okay. Phyllo pastry?
Stuff from the fridge. a roll of it
Okay.
from the fridge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, some nice steaks, and then you do this, that sort of the textury stuff with the mushrooms and schnitzel. And it was first time working with pastry. Pastry could do one. Not a fan of pastry. And I was getting frustrated, and I was sort of like tossing it, and I was just like, I'd sort of walk away and catch my breath.
Yeah, there's definitely an art to pastry, and you kind of have to accept that you're not going to get it right 100% of the time. But like with most things, repetition is the mother of all skill. So just keep at it, brother. Keep making them.
Yeah. Big fan. I got myself a big pot as well. I forgot to tell you, a big metal one, which I can start on the hob, put it in the oven.
Yep. Oh, like a Dutch oven?
Yeah.
Oh, outstanding work, mate.
Big heavy one.
Yeah, nice big heavy lid on it as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I made a beef bourguignon the other night, and I've never filled this Dutch oven because it's quite a big one. But the recipe I made, I didn't really look to see how many people it fed. So it fed 6.
Ooh.
But there's a lot of mushrooms and stuff in there, which obviously they reduce down during cooking. So, but at the point where it initially went in, I used 1.5 kilos of cubed steak or beef, stewing beef.
That sounds like a lot.
1.5 kilos, mate. Yeah. Oh, all the meat. All the meat. I love it. I love it. I love talking about food.
Well, also now we're always at home. It always feels like it makes sense to overcook on an evening on something nice like that, than have it for lunch the next day.
We invariably do that now. Rarely a day goes by where we just cook something that we just take down in one sitting. There'll be leftovers for lunch the following day, or even the next night. A second meal. So, video games.
Oh, okay.
Video games. We should
Okay.
probably talk about them, my friend.
What do you want to talk about? I mean, you got Cyberpunk that came out.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. That's a hot mess on certain platforms. Sounds like if you're rocking a good top end PC, that will be the best or the optimum experience compared to everybody else right now. Potentially still having a bunch of problems. But no, apparently I understand from the internet that the console or the last gen console versions are hot garbage.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'd feel disappointed. I mean, I'd love to get this, and I will get this one day, and it'll probably be when I finally get a PlayStation 5, and obviously this version of it's out, then I'll be happy boy. But if I got it, if I had a PS5 now and I bought that version, in my head, as far as next gen goes, you just get a better version of it. You get the PlayStation 5 version of it, or the Series S version of it. I mean, that's not the case. So they've only built it for the old console and a PC at the moment.
Right.
So if I've got this spanky new system, I'm playing the previous generation's version because they built a great game. Yeah. But it's got to work on the oldest possible model.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed. I mean, I know that. I mean, people give people a pass for all manner of reasons, and reputably, CD Projekt Red do good support and make good games. And by all means, I still want to play this game. It's been interesting, sort of hearing a lot about it and thinking it still sounds all right. It still sounds like I'm going to enjoy the shit out of this when I get to it. Yeah,
and I don't think there's any reason why, bugs aside, you wouldn't be experiencing a fabulous game because, CDPR, they do good stuff. The questions will be long asked about whether it was right for them to release it in the state it was in. And you can almost forgive PCs because there's so many different ones, so many different builds out there. You kind of accept a PC version to maybe be a bit buggy until, graphics drivers are patched, etc., etc. But to go to a console with a version that everyone gets to play, so they'll have sat and played that and thought it was acceptable to get it out in that state. That's not right, mate. That's not right. You'll people won't forget that, but equally people do have a short memory. It's a bit of a of a completely opposite end of the spectrum. But as soon as it's patched and it's fine, that will continue to sell for many, many moons to come. You know, and God bless people that are persevering with it. You know, and if you've decided that it's you know, that it's in such a state where you just feel you can't justify how much you've put out for it, then you know they've manned up and said, right, well, refunds, we'll give you refunds. I think they needed to do that, definitely.
They did, and I guess it's a first for them platform holders. But I know on Steam, and I've used this once as well, the refund option on Steam's fucking genius. I know it's probably taken a long time for it to get to that point. With the mindset of PC gamers and what digital rights are. But like once I got some card game, I thought, oh, that looks kind of cool. And I played it for 20 minutes. I was like, it's not me. Saw that there's a refund option. And it was just like, if you played it for less than 2 hours and it weren't what you wanted, knock yourself out. And I thought, you know what? SARS. But that exists on a platform level. But I don't think it's not because of just one game.
No.
Yeah, there's some I don't know. Do you think a lot of people are getting shouted at? I think a lot of people are getting angry.
Oh, a lot of people have got sand in their vaginas about it as well. You know, it is what it is. If you're not happy with the state of it, you have a right to a refund, and you've been given that right. So take your refund. Maybe once it's sorted out, rebuy it. But you know, pays your money, you take your choice. It's not right. No amount of justification will, you know, make it sit easy with the people that have spent, you know, 60 odd quid on a game that effectively doesn't work properly. You know? So there you go.
I tell you what, I can talk to you about a game that you can play.
Go on.
You can go and play Death Stranding.
Oh, do you know what? That sounds like my kind of game. It really does.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it. What have you done?
Oh, I can't tell you a fat lot. I've only broken the seal. I mentioned this last time we spoke because someone spotted it as a deal, a physical media. It was 14 quid. Argos, could you believe it? So I picked it up, 14 quid with 3 quid shipping, and it turned up. And I think the next day, the digital version of it became free. Not free, became the same price as a download. And I was like, oh, man. What am I going to do with this fucking disc? I could just have had that for the same price. And it cost me more because of shipping. Anyway.
But it's yours.
Oh, yes. But I didn't... okay. Anyway. Death Stranding. So, yeah, I was thinking, do you know what I could do with that game that... I kind of need a... I need a kind of just a game that you kind of ride along with.
Yeah.
That you get that sort of progressionable, and you know you could just do a bit of grinding. Grinding for the greater good. And that always sort of... That was what that game sort of looked like it could be.
Yeah. With bit of delivering and stuff along the way.
Yeah, with all your readers. As much readers as you can get. And yeah, Kojima Productions. And yeah, so it's Norman Reedus. There's like there's a is he a German fella? He's got a very distinct face. Del Toro, isn't he normally a director or something? He's like a person.
Is Mads Mikkelsen in it?
I think that might be the chap I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's German, but carry on.
No, well, so maybe an hour and a half into it, and I've completed what obviously is the initial prologue, which had a good amount of gameplay in it, considering where it was born from.
Yeah.
And I think I was just wowed by the entire experience. That I do want to go back in there, but I think already just from that one taste, I thought this is going to be an investment.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that game that is on the PlayStation and plugged into my monitor. So it's like my desk game, if you like. That's what I kind of needed, one of them. So I'll report back in the new year. And my hope is that I can push through whatever insanity is about to happen because Kojima, and really enjoy it. Really enjoy it. And who knows? It might be an amazing game that I never got around to playing. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Does it make it past the 20-minute test? This is the question.
I'll tell you what made it past, and only long enough. And I can't even remember what it's called. I'm not even going to go and find it. But I was like, I wanted to get okay, so I've started playing Adventure Capitalist again, haven't I?
Yeah,
And what's cool about Adventure Capitalist, I've realised, is you can kind of tell how many people are actively playing it, because when the event comes along, and there's usually like at least 6 or 7 events a week, the leaderboard on there, I'm generally in the top 3. As soon if it starts UK time and I get a jump on the rest of the world, I can push myself into sort of like, I got a screenshot of me at first place. I was like, yeah, man. But it doesn't show your name. It's like whatever my bullshit made it one is.
Yeah.
And then because I kind of want something that maybe it's also a second screen experience is what I want. So maybe like your Peggle, your something in the background.
Yeah.
I picked up what I thought was like, it's called a clicker. And I guess that's what Adventure Capitalist is. It's like you're constantly clicking on something to get the next upgrade, the next currency, to optimize how to do that. And I thought, okay, I'll look for a PC one, and it was all themed and as an RPG. So your little dude automatically walks along the screen, gets into combat, and loots automatically, and then you're just upgrading his number.
Okay, what's that called?
Oh, I will have to tell you. Am I making it sound appealing? Because the reason I stopped playing is I thought to myself, do you know what? I cannot have this on a PC. This sort of game should only be on my phone, because you're clicking, and all I can hear is just like click, click, click. Constantly, because instead of letting the gold pick up automatically, if you just wiggle your mouse over it, you're picking it up yourself, and then you're double clicking. So as well as upgrading your forces, you're also saying, well, do I instead upgrade my click and how much damage my click does? Oh, let me tell you what it's called.
Well, you have to tell us. You can't just talk about a game and not give us the name. There's people might be listening, going, that's right up my fucking Strasse. That is. I want to be clicking. I want to be destroying my mouse.
Oh, here we go. I put 4.5 hours into it. Where did that go? 4.5 hours.
Eaten up.
It's a good one. It's called Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Okay, is that free to play?
It is free to play, and I've heard that these sort of games have. I don't know if this one does. So let me just move Steam out the way. Is the idea of guilds or gang crews, so that you're all contributing to the same boss, if you like. Because if I had that, we that's a little clan going, yeah, a little hashtag on the go, finger on the pulse, me,
baby.
Yeah, before you know it, we'll be streaming it. I'm telling you, man, it's the future of all this. Yeah. But yeah, knock yourself out with that if you've got the time and you've got the spare mice kicking the back.
Oh, you just play it on your laptop. You just slap your knob off the trackpad. And on that note, we'll go to a break because I've been playing a video game. I'm looking forward to telling you all about it right after this little bit of chiptunage. And we're back. Yes. And as I teased delightfully prior to that lovely bit of Christmas chip tunage, we've got Darren playing video games. What's that all about?
What is that all about?
It's like the old days, isn't it?
You brought your news with you?
Yeah. Well, news. Nah. I'll tell you what's news. I've been playing video games, or specifically one video game. So we've covered a couple of genre-based chats. We've talked about clickers. Do you know what a looter shooter is?
No, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of like your PUBG, your DayZ, yeah. So I've been playing a looter shooter, and I've got no reference point from which to compare. So when I talk about this game, I'm basing it on the fact that this is my first looter shooter. So there may be better ones out there, but all I know is the one I've been playing has me intrigued in a good way. So
well,
let's
consider me intrigued right now as well.
Yeah, okay. So let's dispense with the vagary. I've been playing Vigor on the Nintendo Switch. So what is Vigor? So this is as we've said, it's an online multiplayer looter shooter. It's set in a sort of like a post-apocalyptic Norway. You have a permanent character that you'll play every single time, and you start at level 1. There's a bit of introduction at the beginning, which traverses you through a map as you're doing all the things that you're mostly going to be doing while you're playing the game. Like moving forward, ducking, going prone, shooting, changing weapons, healing yourself, etc., etc. And then once the tutorial's out the way, it plonks you in this kind of, I guess it's your base, it's your home, and basically it's a kind of remote cabin on the edge of forever that you're looking out onto a massive vista of Norwegian landscape, and it's just you in this shitty shack. But you've got all these opportunities to upgrade it. Yeah, so you can upgrade stuff. So how do you upgrade stuff? Well, you need resources. So you might need a bunch of metal. You need a bunch of fuel, or you need some chemicals. So how do you get all these resources? We go out into the world and you scavenge them. So this is where you go to the matchmaking, and you can see what maps are available. There's normally three maps for encounters that you can choose from, and you select that. You jump into a queue. You go to a lobby screen. You'll see all the other people that are queued up into that match. You can click a couple of buttons, and you can see exactly what level they are, what their loadouts are. Because hey, guess what? You're shooting people should you need to. So you can see what the loadouts are, you can see what level they are, and then boom, you're into the game. And then you all get dumped into this map, and there's no singular best thing to do. There's so many different things that can be done in this map. There will be, at some point in every map, there's an airdrop. So an airdrop comes in, and then there's a race to get that and get out alive. Okay. One of the things I really enjoy about this game is if you die during your encounter, you lose everything. You lose everything you've got. So if you go into that map like fully stacked up to the nines with all your guns and your whatever ready to go, if somebody kills you, you lose it all. You've lost the fucking lot.
So I think
that's awesome.
Do you have reserves then in your sort of like main pool?
Well, you can craft. So you've got a crafting table within your base.
So outside of the actual shooter gameplay, you've still got like its own little game of resource management.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're in the map, you're collecting resources, and you do that just by wandering around. There's like abandoned sheds, houses, areas of the map where every time you come up to something that you can interact with, there's like a little icon, and you press and hold the button, and you open it, and you can obviously loot it all, get it all out, and that goes into your stash that you're carrying around. The more you're holding, the harder the more quickly you lose your stamina. So obviously with many shooters you can click to hold and you sprint. Okay, so all the time while you're sprinting, you're losing stamina. So you kind of got to be careful with that. But what I've been doing is I've been kind of really sort of like role playing it and saying, well, I'm not going out to try and kill other people. I'm almost trying to stealth my way around the map and get into houses and out of them with as much loot as I can before anybody else gets to them. And
so you can escape, if you like, the multiplayer part without having to either live or die. Can you escape?
No, absolutely, you can collect resources. You can interact with various things on the map. So there's like radio towers where you can light up. You can expose on your pop-up map where everyone is. You can activate another part of another piece of technology which allows you to mess around in a good or bad way with the airdrop. So I could make sure it's booby trapped, or that a decoy gets dropped as well, so they're not necessarily getting the right one. Or I could say, right, no, let's make it more valuable. Let's put more stuff in the airdrop. But I'd do it to suit what my needs are. So if I was going to that map, into that encounter specifically to grab the airdrop, I would be boosting it. But invariably I'm not, so I'll just be a dick about it, and I'll do something, because all these things that you do, you earn incremental amounts of XP, because your XP gets all totted up at the end of the encounter, and hey, guess what? You level up, and when you level up, you get better stuff, and you get crates, and you get levels, and you get pieces of, you get blueprints for better weapons, and you get bits of clothing, and there's cosmetic stuff. So the cycle is, you go into a map, you do your scavenging, you do your shooting, whatever you want to do, then you come back out, and in theory then you should maybe have enough resources to set away the building of something, or an upgrade of something that you've already built. Now on top of that, there is there's a food metric, or like one of your resources is food. Now you don't actually, for whatever reason, you don't need to have this food. It's all about donating it. So you donate it to the population for the betterment of, post-apocalyptic Norway or whatever. But if you donate, it keeps track of how much you donate, and at the end of the period, depending on how much you donated, you'll be rewarded based on the amount of food that you've given up. So there's all these little things going on which kind of lead it to be more than just a load up a map, charge in, kill everyone, get out, winner chicken dinner.
Yeah. Have you ever sort of bumped into somebody and gone like, nah man, we're cool?
Yeah. So invariably I will go in without any weapons whatsoever. I'll go in cold, and I'll go, right, well, if I bump into someone and they kill me, so be it. But if I go in and I pick a weapon up, I'll use it if I'm forced to. But I'm not actively going out looking for somebody to kill. But there's like emotes as well. So the standard emote is you'll just wave at someone and go, hey! So the amount of times I've gone, hey, to someone coming up to me and then they've shot me in the face I've lost count. But occasionally you'll get someone to go, hey, back. and we'll just go our separate ways. Clearly he's coming to the map to do exactly the same thing. But there's other interesting stuff going on as well. There's they've introduced collectibles. So there's these little trolls, the little toy trolls with the big hair. There's trolls dotted around various maps. There's lighters. There's also pieces of vinyl, record vinyl, which if you find them, you can play them back in your cabin as background music. Your home base has also got a shooting range where you can practice your weapons. So one of the things that became quite apparent to me straight away about the weapons is this ain't no Call of Duty. Okay, you are not an uber trained soldier who can shoot the fly off the wings off a fly at 500 yards. These weapons are unwieldy, and they're not the most accurate. And I've seen people complaining about this, but I kind of understand why it needs to be like that, because you are literally just somebody who's gone through this terrible catastrophe, and you're just trying to make your way in life. There's no guarantee you're going to be a weapons expert.
No,
but if you get a gun, you're going to use it. You might not be very good at using it. So, what else? Oh, when you're in the lobby and you're waiting to go into the actual match itself. So I've said that you can see who else is there and what levels they are. But there's also a couple of things that you can boost by paying in the. So there's an in-game currency which can be purchased, but you can earn it through grinding. But you have an opportunity in the lobby screen to boost either the value of the loot within the map or the value of the loot within the drop, the crate drop. And that costs money. But you can see when anybody does this boost, it kind of you hear a ka-ching and things start moving up. So I find that really interesting as well. That you can. Because you're not only improving it for yourself, you're improving it for everybody. So it's the map that improves. It's the map that becomes more valuable. It gets seeded with more resources. So there's an interesting thing going on there. It has a season pass. So you'll obviously get your standard level up, and you learn something at every ding. But if you've got the season pass, you'll get better stuff, and there's an XP boost as well. I bought a starter pack. I bought a starter set which gave me more than enough in-game currency to buy the battle pass. But also gave me a load of stuff to wear. Load of skins, and it cost me £9. And you know what? I've probably put 40 or 50 hours into this already, and I feel as a free to play game, which I haven't mentioned, this is a free to play game. It was released originally on the Xbox One back in 2019. Did really well over there by all accounts. Then it came to the Switch in July this year, and I think only a month or so ago it got released on the PlayStation 4. So there is it's making its way to all platforms. I'm not sure whether it's on Game Pass where you can play it through the PC or not. I'm not sure, but I do know that there is cross-play between Switch and Xbox. Sadly, PlayStation have got their own. They've got their own shit to deal with, so that you don't play with. I don't play with PlayStation people, but I do play with a lot of Xbox people. And when you get your daily challenges as well, get your dailies you get to do. So again, I'm there going, oh right, so I need to collect X amount of resource. Oh yeah, it all fits into my role playing style. And then I get a daily challenge that says, oh, you need to kill another Outlander. Right, all bets are off. Let's get tooled up. I need to go and get this daily. So that's the only the real time I'll abandon my pacifistic approach to this game. But it's great. I love it. I'm sure people out there have played it will have said, oh well, it's not so good. It's good for me. It's good for me and what I want to do. I'm not all about the shooty in the face. I love the tension. I love the tension of just sort of crouching and approaching an abandoned village, thinking there could be a guy just on the hill with a sniper rifle, and I'm just trying to get into this house, probably grab a handful of bits and bobs and get out alive. There's something magical about it. The way it generates that tension. And I wouldn't feel that if I was, wading into town with a fucking Uzi 9mm.
True. And how long do the games sort of last when you get into it?
So if you stayed in for the duration of the round, I would say probably about 15 minutes. Because what happens is once the drops happened, there is the way they add a timer to it is they'll say that the radiation is spreading into the area, so you can see from the minimap from which direction the radiation is going to come. So from a strategic point of view, you can almost plan your escape and make sure that you give an optimum amount of time. And this is where you might benefit from moving the location of the actual the airdrop. So you've got opportunities there. So one of the things you can do to fuck with people is you can make the you can make the airdrop a lot heavier, so it's harder for them to move it. So they've done all this stuff. They've taken a load of people down. They've got themselves the drop. But as soon as they pick up the drop, that's when the radiation starts to come in, and then they find out, oh shit, I can't go very fast with this. and I'll take and if I wanted to, I could take an educated guess of which exit they're going to go for, because there's about 5 or 6 exits depending on which map it is, and you could, if you wanted to be a complete asshole, you could camp that exit. And basically they'll be fighting and maybe taking some iodine tablets to increase the amount of exposure they can have to the radiation. And then they get almost towards the end, and then you can take them out with a rifle and then steal all the stuff off them.
How many players you got at one time?
So the lobbies, somewhere between 8 and 12 on the map. But it's a load of fun. Mm-hmm. I really am enjoying the shit out of it. Never played one of these before. I'm very much aware of, there's PUBG. I mean, I did dabble with DayZ back in the day, and that was fun. But this is from Bohemia Interactive. These are people behind the Armour series and DayZ, so they've got a bit of pedigree there. But it's just good dumb fun, mate, and it's free to play, and I've chucked a bit of money at it because guess what? I'm having a whale of a time. I've probably spent more time playing this game than I have the sum of all JRPGs I've played the first hour of.
Oh, have you still got that Lost Odyssey pack?
Yeah, of course I have, mate. Of course I have.
Oh man, how long will it take for you to get it? Do you know exactly where it is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Of course
I know exactly where it is. Yeah, I bought. I still buy JRPGs when they're dead cheap. I got Tales of Vesperia 10th anniversary edition. Played a good hour of that. I double dipped on Ni no Kuni the other week because that was cheap in the eShop. Love that game. The first hour I played of it all those years ago. I'm sure I'll play the first hour of it again at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But no, hell of fun. So yeah, I've been getting my Vigor games on, man.
I love it. Just in time for Christmas.
Yeah. We knew we'd get it back at some point, didn't we? But I mean, sadly, I've had no time to play any board games. So the analog space is bereft, and nothing's going to be spoken of from an analog perspective. But I am looking forward to busting some stuff out over Christmas. Might even play Monopoly. Just for the gigs. The shits and the gigs.
All right. You do that.
I will. I bloody will. So, let's move on to the back end of the show. And this, so we put a message out today across all the social medias that we care about, and we asked a question. What are you planning to do over Christmas from a gaming perspective? Let's see if we can get an insight into what the hot jam's going to be. I'm not talking about the hot jam that's cooling in my jars downstairs, my friend. So, who should we go with first? Should we go with the Facebooks?
Go on then.
Okay. Well, I've got the list up in front of me, mate. If you're happy for me to make a start going through it, but feel free if you want to comment or add anything. Please by all means do. Let me begin with Stephen Schofield. He says it was Cyberpunk, but we all know what happened there. So apparently it's learning assembly code on the Spectrum Next. Now that's a thing, isn't it? The Spectrum Next.
And assembly coding, that's a thing.
So assembly coding, that's a bit more than 10 print, cock, 20 go to 10 run.
Maybe.
So that's what we used to do in Dixon's. To make a cock appear all over the screen. Okay, well done, Stephen. Sounds like you're getting your nerd on. Good style there. Ian Phillips says, I'm sticking with Cyberpunk through thick and thin, mostly thick. Like an addicted smoker, I know the patches will help eventually.
That's a pun. I'm going to like that.
Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm giving that a thumbs up. Steve, yes, it's a blue thumb. It's a blue thumbs up for me. Steve Gale, he says, my gaming this year will be mainly Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my Xbox. If I'm lucky enough to get Cyberpunk and the and the new Nintendo Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers for Christmas, then I'll be playing those as well. On the board game front, we'll be having the annual family play of traditional Monopoly on Boxing Day. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without it. Well, Boxing Day might be a little better without it, but you know, it's there for a reason, and it's omnipresent for a reason, because we have a love-hate relationship with Monopoly. Paul Lee, he says, I'm trying to complete Xbox Game Pass. Is that? But they keep adding new stuff on. Is that like completing all the porn on the internet?
It must be, yeah.
It's never going to happen. He thinks it's Star Wars Fallen Order next, as Christmas always seems to be Star Wars time to him. He thinks it's because they used to show it every Christmas Day as one of the big films. My one chance to watch it every year before even videotape. Kids these days will never know the pain, eh? Well, they won't.
No,
you know,
man.
we're in that. I was talking to the good lady about it earlier. You know, talking about what we're going to watch over Christmas. I said, well, I'd like to. I know that the original Christmas special of the Legal Gentleman's on the iPlayer, so I'd like to have a look at that. And then we talked about something else. And it was like, we don't have to rely on the Radio Times anymore. We still buy it because it's a tradition, isn't it?
Yeah,
you always buy the Christmas Radio Times, but you don't have to rely on it because we have so many choices, and the most important thing is we get to decide when we consume this stuff. If I want to watch bloody Line of Duty at 4:00 in the morning, I can do it. Anyway, Matthew Spinkles says he's working my way through Ghost of Tsushima, snapping pics along the way, possibly a bit of Apex Legends with my lad, and the non-video game front, believe we are getting Ticket to Ride for Christmas. I'm also going to try the Taskmaster Home Edition via Zoom. Oh, that sounds a whole lot of fun across all platforms and formats, my friend.
I need to look into this Taskmaster Home Edition. I need to understand what this is. I'm assuming it's this, as in the TV show.
Yeah, so you'll be given something to do. That'll have some kind of challenge. Sounds like fun.
Certainly does.
Sounds like fun. Michael Hartley says, think I'm going to get through the main story of Final Fantasy XIV at a very slow mince pie and Baileys-filled pace. Also going to start on some PS4 free games that came with the PlayStation 5 PS Plus subscription. Very nice. Very nice. I like that.
So did you know that? That's a thing on the PlayStation 5 with your PlayStation Plus sub. They just let you play like all the first-party PS4 games.
Really?
Yeah, they're just all up there, and I think some of them probably maybe benefit from hardware, something.
Okay, that's a good share. I like that. Steve Roswell says, I was also going to play Cyberpunk, but I'm planning to dip into the pile of shame instead. Go to see if I can get through Death Stranding and Final Fantasy VII Remake, and also to do a bit of retro gaming for starters. Oh, after owning it but never playing it for years, I'm going to have a crack at Demon's Souls on PS3, seeing as I don't have a PS5 yet. Why not? Tell you what, that blew our minds back in the day. No shame in going back to the PS3 to play it, although I would say the online stuff, I think the servers were switched off a good while ago, weren't they?
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
And the none of the world tendency stuff will work either, I'd imagine.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Fucking hell.
That was mind-blowing. Anyway, good luck, Steve. You sound like setting yourself a bit of a challenge there. Stuart Whitehouse is on the last leg. He's on the last leg of the Year of Shame challenge and trying to get through Prey. Playing some VR stuff with the kids and lots of Minecraft. Well, I say that more watching my 5-year-old playing it. And, of course, some or lots of Division 2. Happy Christmas, boys. See you on the other side. Happy Christmas to you, Stuart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. And the guys from the Year of Shame.
Yes. Oh, God, I bet they're chomping at the bit. Can't wait for the year to end, can they?
No. And next year's are in the waiting room, ready to fill the places. 3 of them, 3 lovely ladies.
God bless them. Good luck. Good luck, the lot of you. You're all crazy. Ross Grieve is continuing to plod through Cyberpunk, really enjoying it. Fuck the haters. If Mrs. Claus was listening to the Ghost of Tsushima, if Mrs. Claus was listening, then Ghost of Tsushima is waiting for me for Crimbo. Oh, fingers crossed for you, Ross. Let's hope so. Also plan to get through the Gears 5 story DLC. Merry Christmas, chaps. Merry Christmas to you too, Ross. One thing that's emerging from here is, we obviously we get all the echo chamber crying and what have you about Cyberpunk, but there's a lot of people playing it. And you know what? Great. If you could get a certain amount of enjoyment out of it in the state that it's in, brilliant. Can't fault it. Cassandra, one of the most popular girls on the internet, so I'm told. She's watching Jeffrey, her good man, playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. She says, my own personal Twitch channel. Oh, we all like our own personal Twitch, don't we, Matthew? Look a bit of twitching, don't you?
Never confused.
No. Dave Bargrove says, trying to get used to the new update on the World of Tanks console, but also continuing my adventure in the Outer Worlds. Just want to say Merry Christmas to Darren and Matt and everyone at Midlife, and hope you have a happy and healthy new year. Thank you for everything you do for the gaming community. Dave, you're very welcome, and long may it continue for many, many years to come. Vicky, old Toz, Victoria Bonner, she says, bought the Switch Ring Fit Adventure to counteract the cheese and red wine. Oh, that's going to be a fight and a half, Toz. I'm telling you now. But
is that something you've looked into as a Switch owner?
What, Ring Fit?
Yeah.
No, I've got all my fitness stuff can be driven through the Quest. When I get around switching it back on. It's a long story. We'll talk about it another time.
All right.
Adam Boyd says, Merry Christmas! I'm currently playing through Spider-Man Remastered for the first time on PS5. We'll probably play some of the excellent Star Wars Squadrons. Still playing Call of Duty Warzone, FIFA and Rocket League. Might even squeeze some tabletop gaming in over the holidays. Stay safe and see you next year. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too, Adam. Kath McCauley. Now, Kath's she's one of the crazy gang, isn't she?
Doing the year of shame.
Doing the year of shame, yeah.
Uh-huh.
She says, season's greetings and happy holidays to a Midlife Gamer. I'll be streaming and playing games over Zoom in an attempt to spend time with the loved ones I would have been spending Christmas with. That's a lovely thought.
It is.
It really is. So I hope that all goes really well. Zoom gaming, it's a thing, isn't it? I understand. Good stuff. Martin Harrod, he says, I'll be helping randoms get through the Ghost of Tsushima raid while learning the parts I don't know and opening the new world of Xbox as I have a Series S. It's my first Xbox console.
Oh, the shiny.
Oh, he's an Xbox virgin. Oh, I will break you in, mate. Get yourself a copy of Gears of War, mate. Friday nights, apparently, is where it's at and has been for many a good year. Just saying. Dwayne Brown, he says, I will be drinking, gaming and eating, waiting for the next gen Cyberpunk, but until then I'm playing Yakuza 7, which is fantastic, all caps. Best one yet, finally. Turn-based combat. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, a turn-based combat in a Yakuza game, that sounds intriguing.
It's quite a departure, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, I like the sound of that. I'm going to go and check out some gameplay of that, mother. Barry Wall says, another person who will be enjoying Cyberpunk because I'm not trying to run it on a potato of a console. Playing it on a Series X, I don't know. I don't know. Even with the glitches, it's a great game. Game sums up 2020 for me. Broken, but you still try and find the good in it. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, is it?
No.
Yeah, I like it. Adrian Theobald, he says, a mixture of Cyberpunk and Overwatch. Currently at 1,600 hours playtime and counting. Holy fucking balls.
I'm assuming that's on Overwatch and not on Cyberpunk.
Well, no, unless he's got a time machine. But, whoa, 1,600 hours. I'd have to go away and do some significant math on my World of Tanks playing time. But you're up there, Adrian, I'm telling you now. Good balls deepness there, my friend. Well done. Steve Barron, he says probably some darts. There we go. That's what I like. So old school analog. It is new passion apparently. Darts.
Yes.
Get in, my man.
Do you?
He picked up a football table too.
Oh, there you go.
He's going all the way back.
Do you? Oh God, do you remember being able to buy the flights behind the bar for your hours?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Oh, good hell.
Yeah. It sounds like Stevie's trying to recapture his misspent youth. I think he's trying to rebuild his sixth form common room. We need some jazz mags under the sofa now. We'll all be golden.
Copy of Zoo.
Yes. Paul Wilson says lots of gaming. Cyberpunk, Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Fendix, Neo 2, Demon Souls, plus lots more. Paul, that is a hell of a lot of gaming. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, son. Craig Hill. He says, I'm setting up my lad's Quest 2. Probably lose my shit trying to set it up. Throw a wobbler while setting it up, then playing whatever he tells me to. Craig, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Relax. Just get it all set up beforehand. Honestly, it'll be a doozy. Just like we recommend with consoles, get them open and set up before Christmas Day. The worst thing you want to be doing is trying to sort out bloody updates, etc., when everyone else on the planet's trying to do the same thing. Serena, she's another one of the crazy gang. She's wrapping prezzies, drinking Prosecco, and shooting people in Cyberpunk. Why not? Sounds like a fine Christmas to me, Serena. Okay, so we'll have a little mosey on over to Twitter and see what's going on. Right. Start with the one and only friend of the show. Best Twitter handle in existence. Beef Curtains says, I finally finished Black Flag in the last week to get it off my pile of shame. Right now I'm playing River City Girls as a palate cleanser, but I'm saving The Outer Worlds as my main Christmas game. I'll just take this opportunity to wish a happy, safe Christmas to the Midlife Gamer crew, and the same to you, my friend. I love that guy. I do. Chris Williams, it says, Christmas is all about family and getting in some quality time. I'm looking forward to my family going to bed so I can spend some quality time with my Oculus Quest 2. Merry Christmas, lads.
Hey.
I like his style. You know when people... Right, this is my table. That's his Twitter handle. Okay. This is my table. He says, setting up the Series S for my kids on Christmas Day. Smashing the thing by lunchtime on Boxing Day after the 1000th Fortnite-related arguments. Finally getting Brass Lancashire to the table and finishing the Descent into Avernus D&D campaign. Fantastic. There's a good balance of digital and analog going on there. And Brass Lancashire, that's a beauty of a game. Get in. Get in, my son. Jay Stokes, the lovely Jay Stokes, he's heading back to Rapture. Bioshock Remastered, yes please. Not Infinite though, because it's wank.
Is that an old fight we need to start again?
That's a hot take, that is. It's the hottest of hot takes.
7 out of 10.
Okay, Solm. Our good friend Solm, friend of the show, it says, Christmas gaming plans. As much gaming as possible while drinking and eating as much as my stomach can handle. Currently playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate on Xbox, Doom 3 on Switch. Hope you sexy beasts have a wonderful Christmas, and we hope you have a wonderful one too, my good man. Big shout to both him and Justin from Last Save Loaded.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys. All the best.
Good folk.
Oh, they are good folk. They are. Oh.
Speaking of good folk.
Speaking of good folk, young Jim, he's not so young anymore, but young Jim Chilvers, yeah? Jimmy C, the Jimster. JC, as his friends call him. I've got about 7 years worth of Xbox games to catch up with after starting with Gears 4. After that, I'll slowly start my way through that glorious Game Pass, beginning with Sea of Thieves. Good for you, son.
So you know what happened 7 years ago, don't you?
Oh, did we happen?
No, I think that's when he started noticing girls and stopped playing his Xbox. But guess what now? He's had his fill of girls and he's back.
Maybe he's finding a balance. There you go. It can be done. Richard Forder. The beautiful Richard Forder. Hope you're well, my friend. He says, so after returning my PS4 Cyberwank 2027 and stopping the World of Tanks because the recent update was bobbins, I have gone balls deep on Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Feels good to be back. Also playing loads of Marvel Legendary, Zombicide, Night of the Living Dead, and no joke, Pandemic. Okay, all outstanding stuff going there. You can't go wrong with a bit of Pandemic, even though it's very relevant. It is very relevant, and it's almost cheesy to say, "Oh, I'm playing Pandemic," but no, it's a fucking awesome game. Far better than Monopoly, I'm telling you now. Right, M Marsh says, going to try and see if the missus will play Haven with me. She'll probably want me to go back to right. What's this acronym? FNAF.
So I was trying to work this out.
Oh, no, Five Nights at Freddy's.
I think
I just
right.
got it. I was going, FNAF? What the FNAF?
I don't know what that is.
Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a game, clearly, and I think it's one of those ones where it scares the poop out of you. Because he says, probably want me to go back to Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm too scared by night 3. And he says, I'm new to Game Pass. Okay, so he's got a lot of good fun to look forward to. And he's also returning to Cyberpunk on Stadia. Is that still a thing? Stadia?
Wow, I guess.
Yeah. Is it better or worse than On Live? Oh, there's a callback.
You were there, man.
Yeah, I was there, man. I was there, racing across the concourse, trying to get my free bit of hardware, fighting my way. There's blood on the carpet and everything. Okay, Ollie, PC dead meat. He says, plodding through Assassin's Creed Odyssey and sharing the controller with my daughter because she loves playing it too. Oh, that's really ace. That's really ace. I miss video gaming with my daughter. We still talk about it to this day. I mean, she's 19 now and she's got a kid, but we still talk about the fun we used to have. The Banjo and Kazooie and SingStar and all that good stuff. See, it stays with them. That time you spend with them, it does stay, and that's living proof.
What was the name of that karaoke website that you used to record yourself on?
SingSnap.
Is that still existing?
It is. I got an email off them the other week. It said they were going to delete a load of my stuff. I said, fine, knock yourself out. Neil Jarrett, Baron von Pleb, the man, the myth, the legend. He says, I will be continuing to plug Cyberpunk directly into my eyeballs. And when I want to break from shoot the heads off half man, half machine punks, I'll be shooting the head off Scorched with Greg Giddens and Digital Pariah, old Digi, in Fallout 76. Beautiful stuff.
Digi does a load of streaming these days, including them guys playing that.
They all do. And they all do.
And he's
it's
always
streamer's paradise out there.
Yeah. I think there's a thread somewhere on the Facebook group which is like, what's your Twitch setup? And some of the pictures I've seen as well. Some of them have got into that whole room dedicated to it, couples version for the really good live camera websites.
For the live camera website, yeah.
Which won't be working by the end of this year, will it? Because they're turning off Flash at the end of the year.
What was the what was the thing we did on PlayStation 4 when we first got it? There was a live room thing.
Playroom.
Yeah. We used to watch there was people fucking and doing all sorts of things to each other. Oh, it was a Wild West back in those days. I'd like to think things have improved. There's a bit of a quality game place now.
Even Uno got itself a bit racy.
Yeah. Look at that Digbean sucked in 320 by 280. I could just about make it out. I could tell Matt's penis anywhere. Okay, who else have we got? Keith Boyler. He says, "Going to try and get through some of my pile of shame. Also want to aim to watch the Witcher Netflix show." Oh, you're in for a treat, son. And then finally dive into The Witcher 3. That's a pretty cool way of doing it.
Yeah.
I like that. Looks forward to the show. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you, Keith. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas, Keith.
Wartang the Butcher, he says he's got 3 words. Pass the pigs. Now, whether that means the game or pass the pigs in blankets, either way, there's some porkery going on. Rampant porkery. Gavin, he says, Armour 3 for me. Decided to give it an hour the other day and fell back in love with it. Fantastic. Do I need to reload my screen to see if we've got any more? Oh, is that going to break everything? Shit. Hang on.
I think you were right.
No, I think I am. No, that's it. That's it. Thankfully, we're done. Oh, that was lovely. I'm always curious to see how other people's other gamers' Christmases are kind of planned out. So for me, I know I definitely plan to play a load more Vigor. Certainly going to be busting out the Quest, primarily because it's been demanded of me. The good lady does actually enjoy playing on the Quest. So as not traditionally a strong gamer, that's a real thumbs up for Oculus. Really, that's got a Jones in for a bit of VR action. So no, I'm looking forward to some quality time, especially now we're in a zone of it's just me and her for Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Me and her and the cats, and it'll be fine, mate. It'll be fine. I'm looking forward to it. No, genuinely, I am really, really, really looking forward to it. You know, I think we all need and deserve a little relief from 2020. And if that means just a couple of days of just eating everything, drinking everything, playing everything, and doing everything to everything, then do you know what? You've earned it. You've earned it, because New Game Plus is about to happen. Yeah. 2021. More COVID. British COVID, Chinese COVID, African COVID, Brexit. You name it. It's all coming your way. Yeah. You signed up for the season pass and you don't even know it. It's one of those stealth updates you can't stop. Oh, but you know, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We're here for each other. You know, I know we don't say it very often, but you know, if ever things feel a bit bleak and a bit tough, there's plenty of people around, and that includes Matt and myself. So DMs are always open.
Slide in.
Slide your way in. Slide down the greasy pole, or you can come into my DMs. Right, domestics time, Matthew, for the last time in 2020.
Okay then, last time for 2020, episode 222. No, 299.
Where'd you get 222 from?
I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
299.
299 in the bag. So the future is going to happen. But in the meantime, while you wait for the future, you can go on the internet and you can find all things Midlife Gamer. Do us a solid and go and leave us an iTunes review, because I don't know if it's working or not. Someone go and test it for me. Go on. I would do it myself, but I don't want my review not to be the most recommended one.
Terrible.
I can't remember if I wrote it in third person or if I pretended to be somebody else.
No, you just put the thing like one show in and I'm subscribed. You fucking wanker. But thinking about it, back then we were all giddy. We just put our first ever podcast onto iTunes, and it was like, oh, we've had 5 listens. But I'm telling you now, we've doubled that. We've fucking doubled it. We're in double-digit listeners now.
Easy.
So it's took us long enough, but we're finally there. So thanks to at least 10 of you.
Yeah, so thanks. Yeah, reviews and all that. You can go to the Facebook group and have fun there. And it has been fun. It always is. Big thanks to the rest of the team who support that greatness. You might not have thought it to listen to it, but me and Darren don't get that heavily involved in some of the minutiae of the settings of Facebook, because I looked at it once and thought, oh, it looks like I could turn the internet off from here. So I step away from that.
Yeah, and I've always been fuck Facebook, so yeah, that's my stake in the ground, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so big thanks to the team all year again.
For sure.
And yeah, well, you heard it yourself as well. We're on Twitter. I'm at Mantis Matt. He's at Uncle_Fister, and the main feed is at Middle Life Game Net. Thank you very much for listening as usual. I'll hand back over to my my bearded friend for the last time of 2020. Wishing you all the best, fella. You and the family.
Oh, and to you, mate. I hope you and the good lady and all the dogs have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and you ease your way gently and slowly and sexily into the new year. Let's hope it's a better one than the fucking garbage fire that is 2020. And that goes same for all the listeners as well. Thank you for all your support. Whether this is your first show, then congratulations, you've made it to the end. Or whether you've been there since episode 1. It's been a journey, a hell of a journey for both Matt and myself. We've all had our moments in the sun and our moments in the dark, and we're still here. We're still fighting, we're still breathing, and every day is a level up if you look at it in that regard. So be wonderful to each other. Have an amazing Christmas. Go balls deep or baubles deep wherever you can, and join us next time when we'll bring you another exciting episode of the Midlife Gamer Podcast. Happy Christmas, and say goodbye, Matthew.
Goodbye, everyone.
So I'm bursting to talk to you about something that I've sorted out for the missus for Christmas, but I can't talk about it because I know she kind of stealth listens.
What, to the show, or glass to the door?
No, time will just pass and she'll go, oh, I heard you on the show. And I was like, oh shit, what did I say now? No, she still works in an office, and she just needs stuff to get her through the day. So apparently, listening to me and you is a way of getting her through the day. But it's either that or red wine, and I don't think they let her drink in the office. But I'm bursting to tell you about something, and I can't. I can't. But I'll talk about it on the next show. I promise you. I promise you.
All right.
Have you got have you got anything on your Christmas list at the moment? Or anything that you're hoping to get, or that you know you're getting? Or?
I don't know. I mean, she's very happy with what she's got, which leads me to believe that I'm going to do well for myself.
So do you do similar to me? Do you craft and curate a wish list?
No, and that's not a bad. That's not a bad idea to do. To be fair, in fact, it's probably worth just having a wish list in general. But I don't know how much you have to update it. So if I just think it in like maybe now that would be useful to have, and then in a year's time it turns up, I'm like, oh, I should have really changed this to be the more updated version of it.
Well, you just update it and then you resend the link, because I can't believe your good lady's the kind of one that will just save a link permanently somewhere and go, oh, I'm going to go and have a look at Matt's wish list.
I know, but I thought the wish list exists constantly, and you don't have to link someone to it. I guess I don't know.
It does, and you can share a link with somebody. I'm talking about an Amazon wish list here.
Yeah.
You could have a Google Doc if you want. You do whatever you want, mate. Knock yourself out. But yeah, I've always we've always done the list thing. But I still like to surprise her though. There's always a couple of bits she's not expecting.
Now, see, I've done some what I consider to be brilliant brilliant Christmas presents, but they always get bought up when she's in a bad mood.
How do you mean? What did you get me that shit thing for?
Yeah. But actually, great present. I'll have you know.
Oh, that's ungrateful. It's so ungrateful.
In it.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd grab it and I'd set fire to it in front of her.
There you go. That's my heart.
Yeah, it's my heart torn asunder. Look at me, bleeding out on the floor. Revive me! You get on the floor, start crawling towards the door. Revive me! Just say stop being a penis, Matthew. With your terrible Gears of War impersonations.
Gears of War was fun on Friday.
Was it?
Yes, yeah.
Is there still... So we're on Gears 5 now. So are there any classic maps in there?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, but from like the back. I remember the one that was kind of up a hill. Well, it wasn't a hill. It was like a set of like steps leading up to something at the top.
You had snipers at the top and torp bows at the bottom. Escalation.
Yeah, that's the one. That's one. Is that still a thing?
Yeah. I think that's. I don't know if that's on there. Gridlock's on there. I think Canals is on there. There was another one we played. I recognised. I never liked. I didn't play too much after 3, and I never liked the maps which had movement in there where you could change the geometry. And I'm like, I'd just be lost all the time.
Yeah.
Still no Raven Down though. I'm still waiting for them to, or maybe they do have Raven Down, but they don't have. What was the one game mode where it was just you and some Wingman? They don't have Wingman as a mode.
No.
No,
that's rubbish.
I know, man. Wingman was fucking brutal.
You know what needs to come back, don't you? Mag.
Let's get Mag back. Maybe that's where Seabiscuit is. Maybe he's still playing.
He's still sat in the lobby waiting for the speech. I don't even remember the speech. I used to get crazy piss drunk playing that game. I always get a gob on when I've had a drink. Oh dear! If there was one game that you've enjoyed as a community that you could play right now, or maybe on Christmas Day as a special treat to yourself, which would it be?
It probably would be Gears of War, I think. Yeah. What about you? So I was thinking Rock Band maybe, but that involves getting up. I mean, Christ, someone suggested for Christmas, oh, you always get your karaoke thing out. I said, hang on a minute, I don't know if I like the idea about sober karaoke. I have to think about this.
No, that's rubbish, mate. That's rubbish. I still go back and watch our SingStar compilation videos from time to time. There was not a sober person in the house when those things were getting filmed, and you could tell.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell they were good times. Good times.
Do you sellotape? So do you deattach or bite off pieces of sellotape and line them up, or do you have one of them contraptions? A contraption with the teeth.
Yeah, well, you've either got use a sellotape dispenser, or you've got one of those things on your wrist, which is that's even better. Biting sellotape. What's going on?
I can't be the only one.
I thought you were going to say, "Oh, I just use kitchen foil
and blue tack."
Yeah, well, I don't even need blue tack, just kitchen foil. Just absolutely.
Although
I must admit, there may be a couple of gifts that just stay in the Amazon box. So I won't even bother getting them out of the Amazon box. I will just wrap the Amazon box because it's easier.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh. I struggle massively with odd-shaped gifts to the point where I actively seek out things that are easy to wrap. Sue me. Unless specific things have been asked for, then I will make an exception. But if it's any kind of weird shape, I'll just find a box to put it in and wrap the box.
Back in the day when we used to go to offices, we had a secret Santa, and the value was a tenner. And someone managed to get an armchair from a second-hand shop and wrap the entire thing up. It lived in one of the meeting rooms until we moved out, where they had to go and just smash it up and put it in a bin.
What's the best Secret Santa you've ever sent or received?
I don't think I don't have any memorable either way, really.
I think a Borat thong is the best thing I've sent.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think receiving-wise, I can't recall anything. Be honest, it's all a blur.
What do you buy for a man who's got everything?
Exactly. So,